boom, 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 another innovation, this.
I got a lot of sugar, so
We want to have fun in life. Don't you want to be happy? This is why we're here.
baby, it tastes so sweet.
The ingredients for happiness is to create moments of fun.
Kill my
Because if you blame and judge the world, you're a loser. Sorry to say that.
so why you got such an ad?
The world is becoming so complex that not one person has the solution for fucking everything.
Wanna get it on? We gotta get
People from Apple turn down their jobs to work at Tesla.
so sweet, don't it?
And then you meet someone that has the obnoxious audacity to judge how the whole world is functioning.
They want it. This that jam, this your jam.
Sometimes it's easier to change a whole company with employees than to change one manager.
Now this that late.
When you face an emergency room, you don't want 10,000 people. It's like, what decision should we do? Maybe we should first hold a meeting. Okay, the doctor's not there yet. We can't make a decision. I'm so sorry, sir. You have to wait.
Let's go, shorty.
Please just take these words. Take this as a chance. If you want to change this organization, now is the time.
Tell lovely. Sweeter than
Any more questions? My name is Philipp, and my sister and I, we founded a consultancy 11 years ago. We just had a couple of bucks in our pocket and a lot of naysayers, a lot of judges around laughing at us and stuff. And yeah, nowadays today we look at a very impressive tiny team that leads major companies through transformation. I'm really proud of that. We have really cool customers like BMW, Daimler, and so on. We were writing a lot of strategies for them. And it feels like a dream, it does. And this provides me with a 360-degree view. In the next half an hour, I will share some of my learnings with you. I will travel with you a bit to the future, show you a little bit, like what's going to happen, what other companies are preparing for, what are the threats. And I want to show you some solutions from employees that really changed departments, changed divisions, changed resources, and even changed organizations. And it's really important, I think, nowadays, like to look open into this world and not to judge and not, like to have this either-or picture which is out there. So please, let's have a look at this situation without fear, just looking at it, and try to see a big picture somehow. So there is this pandemic or endemic, and there's also population growth. You can see this in many, in Asia it's happening over there. Here in Germany, like we're still on our 83 million. It doesn't get less, it probably gets more. So, but this will stagnate at a certain level. And at the moment, our big challenge is that we spend a lot of money. We're actually spending much more money than we create. We decouple, you probably remember, you better more than me, most probably because you're more in this business. We decoupled the dollar from gold in 1971, and now we're facing inflations, we're facing the fiat money, and so many people are retiring. For example, I have one organization, one customer of mine, where 50% of the employees are leaving in the next 10 years. Can you imagine how much knowledge is leaving? And most likely you're also facing this situation. And those people are retiring. And they need to be financed by other people. And if you look, if you look at the population, you have a lot of old people that are retiring, and we have many new people in the business that are not creating the value yet that is needed. And this brings me to the money flood. Yeah? Beyond that pandemic is a money flood, where we print more money than we create. And right now, we're currently having the highest level of debt ever, privately and in companies. And no one knows where this leads to. And talking about money, let's have a look at the market capitalization. You probably are aware of the finance investment managers like BlackRock and Vanguard. And they both have equivalent market capitalization than France and Germany. And that is something really powerful. If these two companies meet up, this means like Germany and France are meeting up and deciding what to do. It's a lot of power. And power is shifting. And for example, if we have a look here, you have this beautiful graphic here where you can see the German market share, the German DAX. So these are the 30 top companies in the German DAX listed. And you can see the market capitalization is more or less equivalent to the one from Google, to the one from Apple is even higher. So Apple has more money than all 30 DAX companies. And the attraction of these digital corporations is what? That they don't produce anything. They do not produce anything. Amazon is not participating in the global trade. Amazon is the fucking global trade. And if you look, for example, at Google, Google is not participating in knowledge economy. Google is the knowledge economy. If you want to know, like who was winning in the football team, how's this going, how's that going, what's this, you Google it. So, in summary, we're earning less and less with old businesses, and with new ones, we're earning more and more. And we all have to ask ourselves, are we carrying a dead horse across the finish line? And that is my business every day. Another topic that I'm faced every day, and which I would like to address here, is very often I'm asked, what do you think about digitalization? Because we all hear this rumble, of the fourth industrial revolution. Most of you probably have heard or have read the book, like McAfee, The Second Machine Age, and that we're all being replaced, and especially you as lawyer, and And I want to give my 5-cent opinion on digitalization. To me, right now, digitalization is a time age where we make things more effective. That's the core idea of digitalization. So the idea is that people work more efficiently, more effectively, that they work less, that they're more healthy, more prosperous, have more fun, have more time, have more well-being. And the premier class of digitalization is, of course, artificial intelligence. At the moment, digitalization in every organization is hard analog work. For the first time, we have a lot of transparency about our resources. And I would say we're right now in a situation that we will dream of in a couple of decades ago. We will dream, and think back, remember in 2021, in 2022, we had oil, we had gold, we had silver. I would say 15 or 20 countries are fighting this battle about the remaining resources that we have on this planet. And now we come to this point, which I had before, understanding the world is not either or, the world is more. Resources are not being added, nothing is being added, besides more productive production and more intense competition. Semiconductor crisis, perfect example. We want to close this gap between reality and vision and move to a circular economy. Sounds nice. But we're very far away from that. I'll give you an example. One of the most advanced technologies that are out there are Google servers. A Google server, for example, uses 1/3 of the energy that it used 3 years ago. So they became much more efficient. But the problem is, they became 5 times more. So it's efficient, but not effective. And that's the same with cities. Cities are becoming more efficient, but less effective because a lot of people are moving to cities. Cities, for example, they cover just 3% of the land that we're having here on our beautiful planet. But they produce 72% of all greenhouse gases. Most of it by heating, by the way. So transport is not the problem. And by 2050, for example, just to make an example here in Europe, in Asia it's even worse. 85% of all Europeans will live in cities. So smart cities, are the solutions that we're looking to, efficient and effective. And the thing is, we humans, we're especially nations, we don't like to step back. We're really bad with this. I mean, just imagine, move in a smaller house, move in a smaller car, don't go to vacation anymore. And you can see what's going on in the world, when you tell them, you have to wear masks, and there's a facility, you can get your vaccination there, and everyone is demonstrating, and over the world, shit goes south because of stuff that is, provided. But just imagine, now everyone has to step real back, don't go on vacation anymore and stuff. We don't like this, and this is why we seek, to live in harmony with nature. We seek this with innovation. We want to make this happen with digitalization. So it's a real complex situation. And business the way we know will change. We all know this very famous example that I'm showing here right now, the iPhone. Precisely 15 years ago, I think on January 9th, 2007, Steve Jobs was changing the digital world, was presenting the iPhone. Today we reinvent the phone and we call it iPhone. You probably remember that. And then, like, I remember that very clearly, like then everyone doubted its success. This needs fast internet, this needs everyday charges, it's packed with technology, super pricey. And 1 year later, Nokia was celebrating with their biggest party ever, their absolute record year. Unsuspectingly doomed. And nowadays, we're having the same situation again. The world is changing. New inventions coming up, much more disruptive inventions than the smartphone. And still, companies are celebrating themselves with tiny this and tiny that. Oh, we're doing this, we're doing that, we're doing fine, we're doing well. The whole transportation, mobility sector will change dramatically. It's about to understand the consumer. And this is where I want to jump to the smartphone on 4 wheels. In the very close future, we will have vehicles use AI to anticipate, to incorporate, to have the capability and services, and provide stuff before the consumer even realizes that they want or that they need them. For example, like warning them about a car, warning them about a construction, choosing the right lane and stuff. So there's a lot going on right now, and most probably you're saying, yeah, everyone is telling us and this, and like we're not really, like it's not going to change our business really. And I have something here which I added yesterday. In our job, it's super exciting to work, like with organizations, because you define with them certain changes, certain steps, and then they really happen. Training 20,000, can you imagine that? 20,000 employees, like providing them everything. Palantir was there, like you can learn Click, you can learn Python, you can learn stuff. So you can see a lot of stuff is going on. If you want to see more, by the way, on our homepage, you will find more information. So they do a lot of actions are being done to upskill people, to prepare for this new world. And we all know that there are a few companies that are showing us how things should be done right now. And one company is Tesla, because they provide mobility, very simply. They provide solar systems, not like here in Germany. I tried to get on my house, I think since 10 years, I tried to get solar panels. I don't get them, like because everyone is like, oh, this doesn't work because this and that regulation here and there. United States, super simple. Where do you live? Ohio, okay, boom, 2 weeks, like you should have for 2 weeks rain, solar panels, poof, on your roof, super simple, super cheap. Then you can store them, also provided by Tesla in this ecosystem. And what is that? This is an ecosystem. Same than a smartphone. If you have an iPhone, and if you have an iMac, if you have AirPods, you're locked in an ecosystem from Apple. And the same is done by Tesla. They provide you an ecosystem. You don't want to have a Mercedes anymore once you have the solar panels from Tesla on your roof, right? So first, they provide this ecosystem. And second, what do they do as well? Innovation. They always drive innovation. And what is innovation? Innovation attracts people. People from Apple turn down their jobs to work at Tesla. And that's a nice reverse recruiting problem, isn't it? Whether you like it or whether you don't like it, this stuff happens. And what is the result? The result is that this company, because it throws out so many innovations, boom, 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 another innovation, this, Starship, here, there, whoa, They don't spend money with advertising. They never have. They're famous for that. But they spend money on intellectual property, on innovations, on R&D, and much more than the other companies, and they're much more valuable than the other companies right now. So they show us, and this is the funny thing, you can always tell people, look, this can happen, that can happen, oh, it's not going to happen. And then if it happens, people are still saying, oh, like it's not really, it's just a bubble, and it's this and that, Just in the same with Nokia, same with Kodak. So first, I want to show you something from a compliance department. And they realized that they have to become much more simple, that they have to become much more emotional, have a better image, and provide more service. So they made this real simple. And they took the idea from movies, like, hey, we protect what we stand for, and hey, together we can rule the empire and stuff. Super simple. Of course, there's no Darth Vader on that, so they're super safe. All images that are purchased. You get the idea. It's fun. It's simple. Providing booklets, for example. Little goods. Everyone ticks different. A few people, they like, for example, the cardboards. A few people like booklets. And then there are some that need, for example, a cool workspace, where they can enter, where they have tutorials like YouTube or so. and get engaged, or have a chat window, ask and support. And some, for example, need a physical workspace or need a roadshow also to be engaged. Another example that I want to show you is the problem that I'm facing every day. It's Sue out there, and very often, I'm meeting hippos. Hippos are the abbreviation that stands for highest paid person's opinion. So you prepare your stuff, like you make your research and this, and then you go and you meet people, and then you meet someone that has the obnoxious audacity to judge how the whole world is functioning. They tell you, like, this is the right decision, like I have a bad gut feeling there. And this department wanted to address this topic and also fight the zebras, the zero evidence but really arrogance. So what did they do? First, they took all the killer phrases that management uses very often, like, the Chinese customer needs this, the American customer needs this, yeah, we're muddling through already. So they were using all these phrases, like, and placing them like on a walk of shame in a building. They didn't have a green light from communications or so. They just did that. And what they also did, they claimed themselves as a customer insight center. They said, we have a lot of, we have access to the data lake and we understand the data lake quite well. You can become you can join a class here with us, have these posters, and this is a department. I'm not talking about a top manager or a senior that says, we should have a customer insight center. No. These were people that saw the need and, decided, look, we can create value here for our colleagues. So you could apply for a training. And of course it went south. Everyone went there and was like, fuck, the academy was like, well, this is not an official listed training here. It's very often easier to change employees. Sometimes it's easier to change a whole company with employees than to change one manager. This is my daily business. It's so hard to approach managers. It's so hard, it's so hard, it's so hard. And you can see this here perfectly on this example. Employees are like, cool, hippo, cool, providing facts, having a bit fun, being a bit, why not, right? They're open for this. The managers are like, oh, wow, we have to be careful, yeah. And what they also did, for example, which I like a lot, is that little sheet here. So this is, for example, you have to create a hypothesis, saying, if you want to do something, if you want to check something, if you want to make a decision, you first come up and create a hypothesis. I believe in the future, for example, there will be no CD players in cars needed. And I measure whether I'm right or wrong by, for example, collecting data from so and so many cars, and I'm right or wrong if so many users are using still a CD player or not. This is what I recommend you. Make decisions with facts, but also with your gut feeling, with your heart and your head, in a 360-degree view. And that's something really important, because right now we all want fast solutions. We all want that other people are taking care of it. Firefighters, SWAT teams, surgeons. It's always the tiny teams that function like a clockwork, like in a band, for example, with different skills, where you rely on each other, on a joint mission, where you have certain decision areas, where it's cool, make this decision, fine, and if we have a problem, we believe in you. And this is when you are at the surgery, when you face an emergency room, you don't want 10,000 people like, what decision should we do? Maybe we should first hold a meeting. Okay, the doctor's not there yet. We can't make a decision. I'm so sorry, sir. You have to wait. If you want fucking things to work, you need to make decisions. What is the recipe for a good team? Of course, it's that you have time for decisions, that you make decisions, decide whether left or right, like make a decision, this direction or that direction. Let's decide something. Let's go there. Very important that growth. Everyone defines growth different. Some people want to earn money. Some people want to have a bigger desk. Some people want to come later. Some people want to have the liberty to do this and that. And also about, like the most important thing is fun. We want to have fun in life. Don't you want to be happy? This is why we're here. Don't forget that. And the ingredients for happiness is to create moments of fun. But every day we're solving and facing shit. Everyone. I'm totally aware of this. Me too. But it's the moments of fun that result in happiness. So I think it's worth to fight for happiness, and I think it's worth to fight for fun. And facing difficult challenges doesn't mean that I can't have fun. We all had challenging projects, we all had challenging jobs, but if you have the right values there, and if you have a lot of fun, then you stick with it. But there's one thing that I want to add here. I think the people always seek like, I just want to have nice moments and stuff, and you know, like, and this should be good, and that should be good, and this technology should me help to have this and this. I don't believe in that, actually. Yeah? If you ask me about my 5 cents opinion, I personally believe we're here to suffer. I really think that. You know, our brain is a result of huge evolution, and always, you know, like, it's there to solve shit. And if we don't have problems, you know, and I have a lot of, I've been yesterday evening, I've been with my doctor, a friend of mine, you know, we've been in a restaurant, met also other doctors and stuff, you know, and they have lots of money, you know, they're staying in fancy, nice hotels, and they have the same problems that I do. Oh, this doesn't work here and this doesn't work there. And I think, you know, like, if we always strive for this pure happiness, we're on the wrong trail. I think it's about this shifting around, and cool, look, I avoided this hole, and oh, look at that, I avoided this gap. That makes it challenging. And last but not least, I want to talk about something very important. So let's talk about this obnoxious audacity out there that so many people have. You know, this obnoxious audacity of sitting there and deciding what's good or what's bad. And have you realized also this is how Amazon looks like, how YouTube and Facebook looks like? You have the thumbs up and you have the thumbs down. Did you ever ask yourself why? Because this is how we humans are. This is good, that is bad. Silicon Valley good, Asia bad. My religion good, other religions bad. Other boss is good, my boss bad. But if you drop an M and an E before and after this word or, you get more. And I believe this world is about more. I think this world is about that we can coexist. So I've showed you now in 30 minutes, very crisp, a lot of information. I really hope that I made it, because usually I need an hour, you know, like to address all that stuff. And I hope you really understand that we're in this insane point everywhere in the world. You know, you can see this now, for example, when we look at the gentrification and stuff, and how do I say this and how do I say that? And I think in your job you're facing this every day. You know, we always try to please other people. But if you try to please others, you're in a behaviorism box. And unpopular solutions needs people that are able to step out of their comfort zone. Not blaming and judging the world, because if you blame and judge the world, you're a loser. Sorry to say that. The people that just blame and, you know, you don't want to stick around with them. Cool people are not hanging around with ones that are, oh, everything's bad. People always want to hang around with the positive ones, with the ones that are, come on, let's do it, let's try it, I'm open for that. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm right, let's see, right? So I encourage every one of you to get up, to put in the work, to change. Open up, and please also see what's happening here today. A lot of people put a lot of energy to show, you know, look, we can do something now. And I just hope that these words, you know, ignore the body, ignore the tattoos, ignore fucking everything, but please just take these words. Take this as a chance. If you want to change this organization, now is the time. Having said that, I'm coming to my 8 commandments. First, consider the current state as the worst possible. Very simple, yeah? Don't be negative, it's just the worst possible. You can smile about it, yeah? Remember the fuck-up nights. Well, it's funny, yeah? We can change it. Cool. Go where the problems are and stay there. And don't worry about the problems that don't exist yet or the problems you can't solve. Destroy myths with facts. Be open. It's an and world. It's not either or. It's not my religion or that religion. It's complex, guys. We find a solution. Do not rely on top management. Why do I say that? I believe in top management, but the world is becoming so complex that not one person has the solution for fucking everything. So consult them, polite, with facts. Change yourself to change others, and be happy with small solutions. I know you, especially in your business, and I have plenty of customers that have, you know, compliance and so on departments. It's really hard to work with them because they always want to have 110%. But you never reach 110%, you know? So be happy with 60%, and then, you know, you can still work your way up. Be a giver. Don't judge other people, and be yourself. And most important, have fun doing things, and I hope you're having fun today.